point of contention in last week's first presidential debate, especially given our current economic situation and the legislation that was passed today, was the issue of earmarks, those special dedicated funding by members of Congress attached to the budget for very pet projects in their own states. And we know that such earmarks were $18 billion last year. Do you agree with the presidential candidates that earmarks are a problem? And if so, would you pledge to not seek any earmarks for the Commonwealth of Virginia?
Bob, that's a very good question. I mean, I agree that earmarks have bloomed. I think the number is $18 billion. And I would definitely eliminate earmarks in the transportation field. The public has totally lost trust around any kind of earmarks in that area, the bridges to nowhere, although I would argue that some of the projects, again, that Governor Gilmore just talked about, Virginia benefited from folks in our congressional delegation seeking out those kind of earmarks. Now, on the balance, though, and here's the challenge. I believe as a senator, I ought to be able to go and advocate for additional federal funding, for example, for energy research at Virginia Tech. Now, is that an earmark? If it's an earmark, I think I ought to still be able to do that, but it should be totally transparent. If I'm going to fight for additional funding for any Virginia institution, I ought to put my name on it, I ought to be willing to defend it, and stand behind it. That's been so missing from Washington, and let's face it, neither party has really cleaned it up.
Governor Gilmore, it won't do. We're going to have to eliminate earmarks. And I say I will not take earmarks if I'm elected to the United States Senate. The time has come to have somebody that will put their money where their mouth is and stand up for this and say that it's time to do what's right for the people of Virginia and all the American people. But you know what? That's not the heart of it. We just had the bailout bill that was passed today that was full of earmarks. Earmarks were put in for the purpose of buying votes so that in fact they could reverse that vote and get it passed today. And here, ladies and gentlemen, are some of the earmarks. Puerto Rican rum production, wooden arrow manufacturers, Hollywood TV and movie productions. These are some of the Christmas ornaments that was hung on this bill so they could buy the votes necessary to pass that today and do you harm. Mark Warner said he would support that bill. He would have voted for today's bill. I would not have voted for that bill today. I will stand up for the taxpayer and protect the taxpayer. Mark Warner has just demonstrated, and through these kinds of earmarks that we like, that he would not.